Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and we're back with another real estate investing video. Today, we're talking about marijuana and renting to a marijuana grow operation and the pros and cons of doing that. So you can make money doing that because there's lots of demand for those types of spaces, but there can be huge risks that come with it as well. So I'm standing in a property we just bought, and at one point it was used as a grow operation. We'll kind of walk through it and show you a few things about that and talk about some of the other things like financing, bank accounts, legality of it all, and tell you what to watch out for if you ever do that, because it's not as simple as it might seem just because it's legal at the state level, which it is in Colorado where we're at. All right, and of course, check out investformore.com for much more information on our flips, rentals, being an agent, all that great stuff. And let's get started. So we're standing in the entryway of this property, and it used to be a grocery store, a candy store, possibly a church, all kinds of different things. And we think the last use was as a grow operation. And I don't know if they put this wall in for added security or what the point was, or so people couldn't see it, but it's here. So what do you have to be concerned with when you deal with a grow operation, marijuana in Colorado? So the first thing to realize is that just because it's legal at the state level does not mean it's legal at the national, federal level. And it is still illegal at the federal level. And let me also say, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice. Please check with an attorney for specifics on the laws and all that. But because it's not legal at the state level, most banks will not touch a marijuana grow operation or a property that has a marijuana grow operation. This is actually a 3-unit property we just purchased, and that's the residential unit over there. If you want to see that, I'll link to the video below so you can see the whole place, but we're just focusing on this side over here for now. So back here, you can kind of see the start of their operation. So because it is illegal in the Fed level, like if you get a loan with a bank as an investor and you're lending and you're renting to an illegal activity like that, right? Most paperwork on your loan documents will say you're not allowed to do that. Whatever the use is for the property must be legal, yada, yada, yada. So it's possible, again, check with always attorneys and all that stuff. They could come and say, yeah, you're operating an illegal business. Your loan is due. We're not going to have a loan on this property anymore. If you have a separate bank account, an LLC, with a federal bank, they can come back and say, yeah, your business that you're renting to is not legal. It's against the federal laws. We're not going to give you a bank account anymore. So there's lots of things to consider when renting to businesses that are not legal federally. It's not as simple as, oh, it's legal in Colorado. We can do it. It's fine. There's no problem. So not just as a landlord, but if you're buying a house, a property, a commercial property, and you're intending to have a grow operation, the same rules apply. Most banks will not lend to you. They will not give you bank accounts. They will not help you out on that front. So there are some banks and some places that have catered to marijuana industry businesses, but they're not federally insured. They're kind of outside the box lenders who will give people bank accounts now, but it's very tough, pretty expensive to go that route. So it's not very simple. We're also staring at the electrical system right now. Why is that? Well, you can see it is like a crazy mishmash of stuff going on right here. And I have seen a few marijuana grow operations, properties that we bought that had small to medium-sized operations. And in every single one of them, the electrical system is just like crazy, complicated, or just destroyed. Like just a mess of wires and stuff. Because when you're running a grow operation, you have to have tons of power for the lights, right? You've got to have special lights. They've got to be on all the time. And you've got to have tons of power. So you can have major issues with your electrical system if you're letting a grow operation come in here, do all the work themselves, they may or may not know what they're doing, and then buying one as well, you want to make sure everything's together too. Because we had our heating guy come in here and look at everything, and he says, yeah, your giant furnace up here, I can't get it to come on. It may or may not work, but the wiring is so weird and messed up, I don't want to touch it because I don't want to blow the place up or catch it on fire. So you have to be very careful with the wiring and the electrical system when you're dealing with marijuana, a grow system, places like that. And of course, we're going to take a look down here as well. This is the crazy basement, which really isn't that bad. We've dealt with much worse basements. So I know they did some stuff down here too with the electrical and different things. So the other thing you have to worry about with marijuana grow operations and different things, electrical for one, and then also you tend to need a very humid, wet environment. So, you're watering stuff, sometimes you're misting stuff. You've got fans going in and out, all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't even know what all this is, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes with all the watering, the misting, the humid environment, right, you could have mold problems, water problems, and other issues that come with the grow operation. Again, I haven't seen any like super major problems from that personally, but it's something to watch out for. You don't always know how well stuff was done, if the ventilation's right, if everything's being done up to code, all of that. So you just have to be real careful with it. And then something else to consider, and we have witnessed this multiple times personally, is the smell, right? If you have a major grow operation and you've got a lot of weed plants and growth, it's going to smell. It's going to stink, and that can stay in the property for a while. It doesn't just go away once all the plants are removed and things are gone. So if they're using it as a grow operation for quite a while, it can definitely stay with the property. I saw a commercial unit that was used to store, I don't even know if it was marijuana or just like the THC side, or if it's just the CBD side. So THC is the active ingredient that makes you feel high, is illegal federally. And then CBD is like the more medicinal side of it that I think is legal federally. Again, check with all those laws. I'm not up to date on everything. But I think they're just storing CBD, which still can smell. And everything was cleaned. It was completely cleaned. Everything was out. And it stank so bad. It was a 20,000 square foot warehouse, completely empty, nothing in it, and it smelled so bad. So that's something else to consider, is if you are in a place that is renting to a grow operation or big operation, right? You might have a smell that is with that building for quite a while, and while some people might not care, a lot will and just not like that. So just a few tips and things to remember if you're renting property, if you're thinking about renting to a grow operation: the electrical system, the humidity, the water issue, the smell, and then the legality of it. And something else to consider too. We're in Colorado, and a lot of people think, oh, you're in Colorado, just have a grow operation, right? Well, it's not legal in every single city. Some cities have ordinances, laws against it. In Greeley, you can't have a store that sells. I think you can still have a grow operation, but the laws are different everywhere. So you want to make sure you're not just abiding by state laws, but you're abiding by local, county, and city laws as well, and are within all of that. So for me personally, I would not rent to a grow operation just because there are all those concerns with the lending, the bank accounts, and that side of it. And then there's also insurance issues too, where you have to make sure, if you have an illegal business, you're not voiding your insurance policy. Something goes wrong with that crazy electrical, with the humidity issues, the water issues, all of that, right? If you have an insurance policy that says, hey, you can't have illegal businesses in accordance with this policy, and you've got an illegal business federally and the building burns down, right? What if the insurance company says, okay, we're not going to cover you because you had an illegal business, it was against this policy? Now, I'm not saying that could happen, but it might. So that's something to consider and think about as well. And, making a quick buck, making more money can be enticing to people renting to a grow operation, but there's a reason those operations are willing to pay more and move into spaces that aren't super amazing, because it's tough to find places that will rent to them because of all of those issues. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any information to add to this video, please let me know, because I'm by no means an expert. Love to see your comments, likes, shares, and we'll be back with more videos soon. Of course, check out investormore.com for much more information on flips, rentals, being an agent, all that great stuff.